Let's dive into the bizarre life of Adolf Hitler. Yeah, we all know him as the infamous Nazi dictator and genocidal maniac with one of the most terrifying resumes in human history. But what you might not know is, Hitler started out as a quiet kid, then a broke construction worker. Yep. The world's most dangerous fascist was once just an awkward guy with a paintbrush. Born on April 20th, 1889 in Austria near the German border, little Adolf spent his childhood bouncing between Austria and Germany. Over time, he started loving Germany more than his actual homeland. Classic red flag. In school, he was a decent student, until his younger brother Edmund died. That trauma flipped a switch in him. He became moody, rebellious, and constantly argued with teachers and his dad. Out of 6 siblings, only a few made it past childhood. Hitler grew up obsessed with art and wanted to become a painter. Turns out he was actually pretty good. His architectural sketches were so accurate they looked like blueprints. But his dad, a strict Austrian customs officer, had other plans. He wanted his son to get a real government job. Hitler hated the idea and tanked his grades on purpose so he'd get kicked out of vocational school. It worked. His dad died when he was 14, and his mother passed away 5 years later. At that point, Hitler was broke, homeless, and eating in soup kitchens. He lived in shelters and did odd jobs, hauling bricks, manual labor, while selling street art in Vienna to survive. Then came World War I. In 1913, Hitler was called to join the Austro-Hungarian army, but was quickly rejected for being physically unfit. Not that he cared. He thought the Austro-Hungarian army was a dysfunctional joke anyway. Side note, we covered this chaos in World War I Quick Summary, Episode 1. Go watch it if you haven't yet. Hitler moved to Germany, and when WWI broke out in 1914, he volunteered for the German army. Huge historical mistake. If the paperwork had been done right, he would have ended up in the Austrian army, and the world might have avoided one extremely angry dictator. But in the German army, Hitler was weirdly brave. He earned the Iron Cross, a huge deal, especially for a guy who used to paint buildings. He was wounded twice, shot in the leg in 1916, and temporarily blinded by mustard gas in 1918. Despite his personal efforts, Germany lost the war, and Hitler was pissed. He saw the Treaty of Versailles as Germany's ultimate humiliation. He believed the military had been stabbed in the back by traitors, specifically Democrats, Communists, and Jews, a conspiracy theory he held on to for life. This is where the anti-Semitism gets deadly. Hitler became obsessed with the idea that as long as Jews existed, Germany would never rise again. His twisted solution? Eliminate them. All of them. After the war, Hitler stayed in the army because he had no education and nowhere to go. The military assigned him to spy on political groups, including a small fringe party called the German Workers' Party. But plot twist, he liked what he saw. He quit the army, joined the party, and became member number 555. Later, that party rebranded itself as the Nazi Party. With wild charisma and world-class public speaking skills, Hitler quickly rose to the top, bringing in tons of followers. But as the party grew, so did internal drama. Hitler quit in anger, and the party started to collapse. Desperate to survive, the other members begged him to return. He agreed, only if he became the supreme leader. They said yes. And boom, Hitler was now the boss of the Nazi Party. The Nazis under his rule became more extreme. Their mission? Destroy the current government. Crush communists, eliminate all Jews. In 1923, with backing from war hero General Erich Ludendorff, Hitler tried to overthrow the German government in a failed coup known as the Beer Hall Putsch. Yeah, he really thought a few thousand guys could take over the country. Unsurprisingly, the coup failed. Hitler fled, got depressed, considered suicide, and then got arrested 3 days later. He was charged with treason and sentenced to 5 years in prison. But surprise, he only served 9 months and got out early for good behavior. Even in jail, this guy had influence. After prison, Hitler got kicked out of Austria, literally. Austria refused to take him back. So Hitler renounced his Austrian citizenship, becoming stateless and homeless. Again. Despite it all, his rise to power was just beginning. Want to know how this failed art student and wannabe revolutionary became Chancellor of Germany? Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more strange history with a side of dark humor.